Okay, let's dive in. Have you really stopped to think about how fast things are changing in professional learning? I mean, skill development today versus even a few years ago.
It's a massive shift, isn't it?
Totally. We're not just talking small tweaks here. It feels like well, almost a revolution. And
Hmm.
it's being driven by this incredibly immersive tech.
Right.
So today on the deep dive, we're jumping right into the global virtual reality and enterprise training market.
Sounds exciting.
It really is. I mean, think about it. Training surgeons, mechanics working on complex engines,
Right.
even, soft skills practice, all in VR.
Yeah, safe environments, repeatable scenarios. It makes a lot of sense.
Exactly. So our mission here is to unpack the, frankly, astonishing growth in this market. We want to explore what it really means for the future of how we all learn at work.
Giving you a kind of shortcut to understanding this whole field.
That's the idea. And we're basing this on some really detailed forecasts from cognitive market research.
Good source. So, what are the headline numbers telling us?
Okay, get this. Back in 2021, the global market was already generating just under $7.8 billion. So $7,766 million roughly.
Okay, not insignificant to start with.
Not at all. But here's where it gets wild. It's expected to hit over $21 billion, $21,043 million by 2025.
Wow. Okay, that's quick growth.
And it doesn't stop. By 2033, the projection is $154,501 million.
Whoa, 154 billion. That's just massive.
It really is. I mean, it's not just steady growth. That feels exponential.
So, what does that translate to in terms of like the growth rate, the
Wow.
CAGR?
Right, the compound annual growth rate. It works out to 28.3% over that period, through 2033.
28.3%. That is incredibly strong year after year.
Exactly. That kind of consistent, rapid expansion. It tells you this isn't just hype. This is serious investment, serious adoption happening right now.
Absolutely. It signals that companies, all over the world are really seeing the value. They're realizing VR can deliver results that maybe older methods couldn't, especially for engagement and retention.
And practical skills, right? Being able to actually do something in the simulation.
Precisely.
Okay, so speaking of all over the world, let's break this down geographically. North America seems to be out front early on.
Yeah, definitely taking a lead role.
The numbers show over $2.6 billion there in 2021. And the projection for 2033, over $50 billion. That's a 28% CAGR just for North America.
And within North America, you've got to look at the United States. It's the real engine there.
Right. It started at nearly $1.8 billion in 21.
And it's forecast to hit over $33 billion by 2033. Think about industries like aerospace, healthcare, advanced manufacturing, places where mistakes are costly or dangerous.
Makes perfect sense. Training pilots or surgeons in VR first. It's a game changer.
Absolutely risk-free practice.
So for you, if you're operating in or dealing with companies in North America, this trend is accelerating. You're likely seeing this push towards VR training already.
And it's not just the U.S. Canada's looking at, over $10 billion by 2033. That's huge growth from its starting point.
Yeah, around $484 million in 2021. And Mexico, too, projected to reach nearly $6.6 billion.
Yeah.
Broad adoption across the region.
Definitely.
Okay, let's hop across the pond to Europe. How's a picture there?
Europe's showing really solid growth, too. Widespread adoption.
The figures show over $1.7 billion in 2021.
Growing to more than $33 billion by 2033, the CAGR is strong there as well, around 27.7%.
Well, very close to North America's rate.
Pretty much neck and neck, yeah. And
Yeah.
you see key countries making big contributions. Germany, for example, is projected to hit over $8.1 billion.
Okay.
The UK, nearly $5.8 billion. Think about, say, German car manufacturers. They're using VR to train workers on new car models way before the assembly line is even set up.
Ah, smart. Cutting down training time and costs significantly.
Exactly. And France is showing good momentum, too, heading towards almost $4.5 billion.
What strikes me is that it's not just those big economies. The report mentions Italy, Russia, Spain, the Nordics.
Right, and Switzerland, Luxembourg.
Right.
It's pretty broad. Actually, the category labeled Rest of Europe shows the fastest growth within the region.
Really? What's the CGR there?
Over 31%, almost 32%. So it indicates this technology is really penetrating across the board, not just in the established hubs.
So what does that mean globally? Does this widespread European adoption influence best practices everywhere?
I think it has to, right? You have diverse economies tackling different training challenges with VR. That cross-pollination of ideas helps shape what effective immersive learning looks like worldwide.
Okay, interesting. Now, if we're talking fast lanes,
Yeah.
Asia Pacific looks like it's really hitting the accelerator.
Absolutely. APAC's trajectory is incredibly impressive.
Started at $1.3 billion in 2021, roughly, but projected to reach over $28.6 billion by 2033.
And look at the CTR over 29%. That's actually outpacing both North America and Europe.
Wow. Who are the main drivers there?
Well, China's a huge factor, going from about $418 million to over $9.3 billion.
Massive scale.
Huge scale. And India is another major one, projected to reach almost $4.4 billion with a really high CGR, over 30%.
30%? Wow.
Yeah. Japan's also significant, forecast to grow from around $181 million to over $3.6 billion. You have these enormous workforces, and VR offers a way to upskill them rapidly and consistently.
Makes sense. And I saw a note about Taiwan.
Yes, this was interesting. Taiwan actually shows the highest AGR in the entire Asia-Pacific region, over 32%.
32%, that's huge.
It is. Now, it's starting from a smaller base, under $24 million in 2021, but it's projected to grow to nearly $660 million. It really speaks to how their tech and manufacturing sectors are likely grabbing onto this.
Stay competitive, you mean?
Exactly. And you also see strong growth in South Korea, Australia, Singapore, Southeast Asia, generally.
So, thinking about Asia Pacific,
Yeah.
with such diverse economies, some highly developed, some still developing rapidly, what are the unique sort of opportunities or maybe challenges for VR training there?
That's a great question. You've got massive potential reach, but also potentially infrastructure hurdles in some places. How does that impact global talent pools if one region can suddenly upskill vast numbers of people using VR? It's something to watch.
Definitely. Okay, let's shift focus to South America, an emerging market, but seems to be gaining real traction.
Yeah, picking up speed for sure. The numbers show around $831 million in 2021.
Projected to hit nearly $15.6 billion by 2033. The CAGR is solid there too, about 27.7%.
Brazil's a major player, expected to grow from about $306 million to almost $6 billion.
Wow.
Argentina and Colombia are also significant contributors, both looking at multi-billion-dollar markets by 2033.
So for economies like these, could VR training almost let them leapfrog some traditional training infrastructure issues?
That's the potential, isn't it? Especially where access to specialized physical equipment or expert trainers might be limited geographically. VR can democratize access to high-quality training.
So, for you listening, just imagine the impact. You could potentially build a highly skilled workforce using cutting-edge tools, even if the traditional infrastructure isn't fully there yet. It is quite powerful.
It really is.
All right, finally, let's look at the Middle East and Africa. The report groups them, but let's maybe tackle them slightly separately. The Middle East first.
Okay. The Middle East shows really strong growth potential, started around $668 million in 2021.
But forecast is to reach nearly $15 billion by 2033. And check this, the CAGR for the Middle East is the highest regional rate in the whole report.
Is that right? What is it?
Almost 30%. Just shy of it, 29.8%.
Incredible. What's driving that?
Well, Saudi Arabia stands out significantly. It actually has the highest country CAGR globally, over 30.7%,
Wow.
growing from $216 million to over $5.1 billion. You have to think this ties into national initiatives around economic diversification, building human capital.
Yeah, Vision 2030, things like that. Makes sense. And other countries too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Turkey, the UAE, Egypt, Qatar, all mentioned as key players with strong expansion expected.
Okay. And Africa.
Africa is also showing significant growth, from about $574 million in 2021.
Projected to hit over $11.7 billion by 2033. The CGR there is robust too, around 28.2%.
And the leaders there seem to be Nigeria and South Africa.
Right. Nigeria projected around $4.3 billion. South Africa over $5.6 billion by 2033, both with CAGRs near 29%.
So across the Middle East and Africa, even though they might be starting from smaller bases in some cases, the growth trajectory is really steep.
It really is. And it raises that question again, doesn't it? What are the specific opportunities here? Given the unique industrial landscapes, energy in the Middle East, finance, agriculture, and parts of Africa, how can VR be tailored to meet those specific workforce development needs?
The potential for customized solutions seems huge.
Immense, boosting local talent in very targeted ways.
So let's try and wrap this up if we pull back and look at the big picture.
What's the main takeaway?
Well, this deep dive, it's just hammered home the truly explosive growth of VR in enterprise training. It's happening everywhere, across the globe. These KGRs consistently in the high 20s, sometimes 30s.
It's undeniable. These aren't just numbers on a page. They really do represent a fundamental change in strategy. Companies are voting with their budgets. They're investing heavily in immersive learning.
Yeah, it's moving from maybe nice to have or experimental to becoming a core part of how companies develop their people.
Uh-huh.
Upskilling, reskilling, it seems VR is becoming central to that.
I'd agree. It's becoming an indispensable tool in the modern talent development toolkit, you could say.
So the final thought for you, our listener, given this incredible pace of global adoption we've just walked through,
Mm-hmm.
how might your own career or maybe your business strategy need to shift?
Right. How do you need to adapt to integrate this or maybe even leverage it? How can you capitalize on these immersive learning environments that are clearly becoming the norm?
It's definitely something worth thinking about, isn't it? As this whole VR training revolution continues to unfold.
Absolutely. Food for thought.